Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to be doing this card sketch right here, number 3. I got it from Pinterest, so you can pause here and join me. Now this is a different size card, but I'm going to show you my version doing an A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, okay? So come on and join me at the table. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it. So that way you're alerted whenever I upload new videos. All right. And we're going to continue on with the same paper collection from Kaiser Craft, which is the Breathe paper collection. I got a sentiment from the back of the 6 1/2 by 6 1/2 paper pad. And I already cut down my mat page to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then the pattern paper itself is 5 1/2 by 4 inches. 5 1/2, 5 1/4, excuse me, by 4 inches. And I'm using my grid mat to kind of help me line it up and get as straight as possible. I think on the first card I did, when I went back and looked at it, I'm like, this is still crooked. I call myself using the mat to kind of help myself, and it still wound up looking a little wonky, but you know what? It is what it is. I always say that's what makes it a handmade card, right? So I'm just going around with the tape, and I'm going to put some wet glue so that way it gives me a little bit of wiggle room before I put it down, because there's always that chance you're going to put it on a little wonky, and I don't want to ruin my card base. So I'm going to lay it down. And I actually got it pretty close right there. So we're going to continue on. Okay, so now I'm going to attach this to the card base, which I already told you was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And it's I'm using Neenah Solar Crest, the 110 pound. I like using that for my card bases. I will tell you this though, when you go to score it, if you're not used to that thick of a paper, I score it 2 times. On the first side, I score it, and then I'll flip it over and score it again to kind of help it. So that way it bends and closes. It takes me a little bit to get it so that it lays this flat. All right. Now for the image, it said it was 2 by 2. And then they made their mat 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. That's too big of a mat for me. So I made mine, my pattern paper is 2 by 2. And then the mat is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And I think it gives it just enough as far as a border around the pattern paper. You don't have to go any bigger. Now, if you want it bigger, you do you. And you can follow it exactly to the image. That would be fine. But even changing the card size for this, you'll notice it doesn't mess with the scale of the actual card front. You know what I mean? Like, because they did 6 by 4, I think, for their card. Oh, I was showing you down there at the bottom. Real quick, I had a little bit of glue on my fingers when I was like laying it down, and it got a little smudge. So this is perfect. I already know I was going to use this sentiment. I measured it, I should say, and just made a mat to go around it. That would be a kind of the same width around like the pattern paper. And then we're going to put some foam squares. And I think I just do the 4. Yeah, I think I just do 4. And we're going to take the backing off. And then we're going to attach the sentiment here. And then that covers up the little smudge, so no one knows that that was there. And then I always try and put my pen in, because inevitably I will lose it, and it drives me nuts. So now I'm just going to put 3 Nuvo drops. I'm using the black. And then we're going to tap it. Tap, tap, tap. I always like to slam it down. I like how it gets it. It really makes it look like a true enamel dot. And I'm going to tell you, it does take practice, okay? So if you're someone who always says, well, you know, I'm not good at it, they don't work for me, it takes time to get your own flow And especially when it comes to tapping it, like, you'll figure out how hard you need to slap it to get it to the right flatness. And next thing you know, you'll be popping out these little enamel dots a bunch. Really easy. So, as I was saying with my hands there, please feel free to leave comments down below. You can, if you please, hit the like button. And like I said, if you're new here, please subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. And just hit that little bell so that way you get a notification when I upload new content. And I hope you guys really enjoy your weekend. Thanks.